It's Thursday, and you know that means story time here at Washington Carnegie Public Library. So we're going to read a story today. We're going to read a poem. But first, we have to sing. That's what we always do. So can you guys help me? Can you help me sing along? Here we go. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story and you really want to show it, if you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, find a seat. If you're ready for a story, find a seat. If you're ready for a story and you really want to show it, if you're ready for a story, find a seat. Okay, our poem today is by AA Milne, and it's from When We Were Very Young. And it's called In the Fashion. A lion has a tail, and a very fine tail, and so has an elephant, and so has a whale, and so has a crocodile, and so has a quail. They've all got tails but me. If I had sixpence, I would buy one. I'd say to the shopman, let me try one. I'd say to the elephant, this is my one. They'd all come round to see. Then I'd say to the lion, why, you've got a tail, and so has the elephant, and so has the whale. And look, there's a crocodile. He's got a tail. You've all got tails like me. And that's the end of In the Fashion by AA Milne. Our book today is called Fox Eyes, and it's by Margaret Wise Brown. The pictures are by Garth Williams. See the fox in the shadows. There was once a spy, a red fox who came to spy on the possums. See the possums? There were 5 of them, and they were supposed to be asleep. But they weren't. They each had one eye open. They were playing possum. The fox noted all this and went on his way. But with their one eye open, the possums had seen the eye of the fox gleaming through the hole. They knew that the fox knew they were playing possum, and that he had caught on to their tricks. A rabbit running through the field heard the fox nearby, and he froze. He stopped stark still against the rabbit-colored grass and froze to the stillness of a rock. Even his rabbit smell was frozen to no smell as he crouched there, invisible as something that does not move or smell or look like much. But the fox peeked through a hole in a log, and he watched the field for a long time. He saw the rabbit's ears go up, so he coughed, whisk-choo, and the rabbit knew the fox had seen through his tricks and that it was time to run. There he goes. A squirrel was bustling about under a hazelnut tree. He frisked his tail and peered about, then dashed up a nearby oak tree to a hole where he hid his nuts. But the fox was peeking from behind a rock, and he saw where the little squirrel hid the nuts. The fox coughed, whisk-choo, and the little squirrel knew that the fox had seen his hiding place. The fox came to the cave where the bear lived. He peeked through a hole in the top of the cave, and he saw a big fat bear sound asleep. The bear woke up and yawned till his white teeth gleamed in his big pink mouth. Then he stretched and lumbered out of the cave. The fox followed him. He saw the bear go to a big stump where he hid his honey. Then he saw the bear take a big sticky paw full of honey out of the old stump. Whisk-choo, the fox coughed, and at that the bear knew that someone knew where he had hid his honey.
saw the fox's tail disappear into the bushes. Then the fox followed a little fat dog way out into the middle of a field where she went to bury her bone. Whisk-a-choo! The fox coughed, and at that, the fat little dog knew that someone knew where she had buried her bone. Then the fox climbed an apple tree. Along the bark of the tree, the eye of a tree toad, can you see him? Closed suddenly. The fox coughed. Whisk-a-choo! And the tree toad knew that someone had seen him hiding there in plain sight against the bark of the tree. Some children who were supposed to be taking a nap in the afternoon weren't sleeping at all. Whisk-a-choo! The fox coughed, and the children knew the fox knew that they were not sleeping. All this the fox noted, and he went on his way. But that night, there was pandemonium among the animals. See the moon? It's called a waxing crescent when it looks like that. That night, the possums didn't play possum. The rabbit ran around all night. The squirrel got excited and ate all his nuts. The little fat dog dug up her bone. And the bear ate all his honey. The tree toad stayed in a hole in the tree. And the children who were supposed to be sleeping were not sleepy. But the fox just yawned. He sighed and he yawned. Then he lowered his ears, curled his big bushy tail around him, closed his eyes, and went to sleep. He went to sleep right away, without even thinking about what he had seen. For of course, the fox could never remember the next day what he had seen the day before. But no one knows that but the fox. That's the end of Fox Eyes by Margaret Wise Brown.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm so glad you could listen to our story. I love reading to you, and I will be able to read to you next week if you want to join in with us again next week. If you ever want to read for yourself any of the stories that we read on Storytime, be sure to check at your local library to see if they have them. Wherever you are, just have a look and check your local library. Bye, we'll see you next week.